life gives you lemons, eat them. I know that's not the typical way the phrase goes, but the last 6 months have looked like mounds of lemons for me. The real is that it's okay to be sad and angry. It's okay to feel like you're stuck and unsure of what to do next. And making lemonade just isn't always the easiest or the most desired thing to do. And in the past, I've been the queen of sweeping things under the rug and just moving on. But after a while, it just gets old. This is not at all how I thought this year would be, but I've decided to take a lot more time to rest, reset, and really figure out what I want in my life, what really brings me happiness, what brings me joy. They tell you to make lemonade, to bounce right back and to pick up where you left off, but sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you have to embrace the sour parts, and even though it's hard, it's so much sweeter on the other side. So slowly, I'm getting back, and I'm coming back. It almost feels really weird picking up the camera because it's been a little while. I think my last video was maybe a little over a month ago, and the break that I was on was definitely not planned by any means, but I guess it was needed in a way of me not even really knowing it. If you are new or if you don't even know who I am, welcome to my channel. My name is Tatiana. I'm a business coach and mentor for women that want to start their own stationery businesses. I'm so passionate about women getting out there and doing what they love, just taking control and starting something of their own. Time and time again, I talk to so many people on my calls, and it's such a common theme of wanting to do what you love, not being tied down to just one specific income stream or one specific job or whatever the case may be, but just to have options. And so I love being able to be part of that, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. But also, I'm a mom, I am a wife, I live in New Mexico. I run a stationery business called the Stationery Muse, and actually coming up on 6 years of that next month in May. But yeah, I have been on a bit of a break, and for those that are returning, I apologize for the break. There's actually been some people that have reached out and been like, "Where you at, girl?" So I appreciate those comments, and you even thinking about me. That really means a lot. It just made me feel like, oh, maybe I am making a bit of a difference. So I really appreciate that. And honestly, I don't really have a ton to really say about my break other than that it was needed and just the bit that I shared in the opening of this video. But mainly I wanted to come on and just bring some positivity back to my channel to kind of kick things off as I'm getting back into gear of starting to post and just be present on here again. It has been a minute. So I wanted to talk about what's been inspiring me lately. This is something that I started not too long ago, and I think it's just so important to share with people just things that are encouraging you to help them. You know, we never know what other people might be going through, what they're dealing with. And so this is not necessarily anything specific to entrepreneurship or really any particular area in life. It's really just in general what has been inspiring me and what could potentially be helping you and encouraging you in your current circumstances that you're dealing with. So I'm going to be sharing that throughout this video. Okay, my battery died and then I realized my microphone wasn't on, so I don't know how the sound was in that last clip, but we're gonna just roll with it. I have just been sitting here catching up on YouTube comments because I had got kind of behind on them. So yeah, you probably might have recently received a response from me. It's been a while, like I said. But before I even get into just what's been inspiring me, the main thing I wanted to just share is that I think that it is so important to take breaks when you need it. And this is something I'm really going to be sharing a lot more, because one of the things that has been on my heart is just sharing more of like the real behind entrepreneurship and what all that entails, and especially full-time entrepreneurship when you decide to do something full-time. I recently quit my job back in November to take my coaching business full-time, and just that whole thing of just running your own show and all that comes with it. So there's going to be a lot more content on here about that. I think that it's just not talked about enough, the real side of everything. And not to say that it's always bad. There's actually a lot more good about it. But I just feel like sometimes it's those things that people always say, like, well, why did they tell me? You know, those kind of things. So I want to share a lot more of that on here. Let me know down below if that's something that you would like to hear more about, because I really want to talk about it. But anyway, I think breaks are just really important. I'm just sitting here like getting myself together. I'm like, I done just been sitting here. Oops. Oh, this is the alarm I have that goes off at 4:30 every day, y'all. I have it go off at 4:30 every day, and more often than not, I really need the reminder. Like, for real, for real. But anyway, long story short, if you feel like you need a break, if you feel like you need to slow down, whatever that may look like for you, we can't all just drop what we're doing all the time, which is just, that's the reality of life. But in any way you can, in your own way, if you can slow down, take a break, really shift your focus on something that you know you need to give attention to, but you've been putting it off, brushing it off, for whatever reason, your business will be better for it. Your roles that you play in life will be better for it. You know, you just showing up as a person in this world will be better for it, because you took the time to prioritize what you needed to focus on. And I think that is the first thing I will say that is inspiring me, and that has really motivated me to come back. Was just taking some time to just be silent, to just sit with God, to just think about what are the things that I really want, to focus on things in my life that are really important, and answer questions that I've been avoiding, and just a lot of different things. And I just think it's needed, and it was something that I was putting off, but I'm glad that I finally just decided to kind of just clear out the noise of everything else around me and really give myself a chance to hear my own thoughts, to hear from God, to just focus on what truly matters. And not to say that this channel does not matter. I absolutely am obsessed with this channel and this community and all that it is. But because being a creator sometimes can just be very taxing in a lot of ways, you know, constantly being creative, coming up with ideas, and just really pouring out a lot. Sometimes I have to just reprioritize, and I got to make sure I pour back into myself. And so that's the first thing. If you needed that little reminder, is just to make sure that you are giving yourself the attention to detail that you need, because sometimes, all too often, we avoid that, especially as moms. I feel we can really avoid that. So that's definitely number one. So before I share the next thing, I think one thing too that sometimes is really nice is to refresh your space. I know we're kind of in like springtime. A lot of times people love to just get organized. And I think sometimes just making your space feel new, whether that's moving something around, adding something, it really helps. And so I've done a lot of new things in the office. The first thing I'll show you, and I'm not even going to clean up, like, if you've been following me for a while, you know I don't be cleaning up to make things pretty, because I just think it's doing too much. So this is literally the real of how this is set up, but I recently moved it around in the office. So I have my desk. So this is actually a table that I got a few months ago when I was using it to do my planners. I ended up moving it over here in the corner by this window. And then I have my other desk in front of it. So it's kind of like this two-desk workspace situation, which I am loving, by the way. And then my chair is in the middle. So I really like that. I really like being able to just look out the window and have the light near me when I'm working. I like that a lot. And then over here, this has kind of become like a little bit of a learning area for my daughter. We do a lot of school stuff at home. So I have even like this on the wall, or I even have this on the door over here. But yeah, this has become a little spot for her. So we do our thing pretty much almost every day during the regular week. And yeah, so that's really the changes. But also, like, I did a ton. If you are familiar with my office space, then you'll kind of see like stuff has moved around. This used to be where that white table was for doing the planners. So that has all been cleared out. And now I have this over here. I moved my printer, my main printer, the laser printer, into the closet. I moved these little square things into the closet. And then I kind of redid this space. Ignore the trash. There's a rice cake Just ignore the trash. Don't ask. But yeah, so over here, this was actually in the closet. I moved it out. It just made a lot more sense, especially when I'm doing different things for my stationery business or even just showing clients how to use the different machines. It's just nice to have it out and easy to access. So this thing is nice too. I got this from Michael's and it actually rolls out. So you can pull it out when you need to, which is like really cool. And I've had this for a while as well. I've had this since pretty much we moved here, but I moved it out of the closet so I could actually utilize it for the benefits. So I have to show you guys, I did a little like corner over here. I have to show you when the light is not like blaring on the thing, but I added some little artwork over here. So I got my chair. I'm just trying to create like a moment in the corner. Don't judge me. The sticky is still here on this one. But basically it's this little line art drawing, as you can see, and she has her turban on. I got it from Hobby Lobby. And then this really pretty abstract gold, orangey, cream little painting. And then I actually had this before. This is old from Hobby Lobby. But it just says love for every day of the week because we need more love, don't we? Like in this world, just we need more of it, okay? But yeah, so this is my little moment I'm creating. That's definitely Emery's elephant hiding over there. But yeah, trying to just get this office a little more decorated and organized. For me, ever since I was younger, I mean, like as soon as I was able to move some furniture around, like I used to move my room around all the time when I was little. I don't know, it's just something about refreshing the space, changing things around. My husband probably at this point is used to it because I'm always doing it. But I find that just adding something new to your space, moving things around, and when you walk in there, it just feels different. Of course, the space being clean is nice too. But just the fact of it just being refreshed is just really good. So those are kind of two things that aren't necessarily like physical things, but they're life-changing. I feel like they are. They really helped me in so many ways of just kind of getting through this just time of, like I said in one of my last videos, I was like lifing. It's I got the term from my accountability partner, and it's true, y'all. Life be lifing, and we just kind of have to deal, or this time of me eating my lemons, like I said. So anyway, I did actually make a note of a couple things I wanted to share with you, but a few different things. So there's two marriage related things that have really been encouraging me and my husband lately. And so I wanted to share those mainly because I feel like if you are married or even if you are in a relationship of any sort, sometimes we can just let life get in the way and we can tend to focus on other things, whether that's our own endeavors, whether that is just anything. So many things can come up within relationships. And so I really wanted to this year make sure that we are reprioritizing our marriage and doing everything we can and make sure we're showing up for each other in the best ways we possibly can. So two different things have really been encouraging me. One is the God Bolt Life podcast. Everything will be linked down below too. So if you're familiar with Lipstick and Curls, that was someone that I followed for many, many years. She kind of started just sharing her natural hair journey, hair, makeup, all of those fun things. And she transitioned within the last few years to really more so like lifestyle, family, marriage, faith-based content. Her and her husband released a podcast not too long ago. At the time of this, I think it's maybe been like a week or two since it came out, but they released the whole season. You can watch it on YouTube if you like more of a video format, and then it's on all of the different podcast platforms. But y'all, the podcast is good. It's so good. It's so needed. And it's just such a breath of fresh air to just hear couples just talking about real issues and things that we deal with, because so many times all you see is just stuff that people post online and you just assume, oh, everything's perfect, everything's great. But on the inside, people are working through real things. There are real things that are putting stressors on marriage, on households, on families. And so I really appreciated their vulnerability in the podcast. It was so good. her husband opened up so much about some of just his own personal struggles and how that affected their relationship, and then vice versa, things she was dealing with. And it was just so real. So if you are looking for a really good podcast just about relationships, even more specifically marriage, then I definitely say check out the God Boat Life, because it's really good. And another one as well that's kind of marriage focused is actually something that they recommended through the podcast that me and my husband have been watching, and it's called Upset the Vows. And it is a series through, I believe is it Embassy? Okay, yeah, it's from Embassy City Church, and it's Pastor Tim Ross. I think we're only on, I want to say part 3 of, I believe it's a 9-part series. But check it out. Again, it's just another really good focus of really strengthening your marriage, and even more so just really basing it on, and actually the God Boat Life, both of them really basing your marriage on the Word of God and what that means to be a husband, what that means to be a wife. And it's really good. And I think one of the reasons why this is just such a good thing for me in this season, I've shared before, my word of the year is faith. And I am really trying to make sure that that is being intertwined into every area of my life. And I have to be honest, even with me not growing up in church and different things like that, it hasn't always been the first natural instinct for me to bring God into every area of my life. And that's just me being real. And so these types of tools that are out there, these things are helping me to see, well, what does that look like? What does it look like for God to come first in a marriage? What does it look like for God to come first just in my life in general? And that is something that I've been really exploring a lot. And it's been really encouraging, really inspiring for me. And so I wanted to make sure I shared those two, because I think that it can never hurt to grow. And even if you're not married, I still think that both of these are amazing to listen to or to watch, because it just gives you this perspective even before entering into something. And it's just good. It's good. It's so good. So I definitely wanted to share those two. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to share is I've been really into reading books lately. And I shared in my last What's Inspiring Me video about Mallory Irvin's book. And now this book is another one that I pre-ordered that I still do not have the physical book yet. But the author ended up actually giving a preview early of the book. And I was part of this launch team that she had. So the book is called Embrace Your Almost. And it is by Jordan Lee Dooley. She actually has another book that I still never even read. It's called Own Your Everyday. What I really like about this book, I'm pretty much done with it. Okay, this thing says I'm 81% done with it. This is like an old Kindle that I had, y'all. It has just been sitting, and I was like, why am I not using this? There's nothing wrong with it. So anyway, I ended up getting the book preview on here, and I've been reading through it. But it says I have 81% left, so I'm almost done with it. But the biggest takeaway from this book, and who this is really going to be for if you are in need of a really good motivational book just in this season, I really like it, because what she's talking about is sometimes the things that we can feel embarrassed to talk about, or the things that we just feel is not worth celebrating, I guess. And that is the almost moments, or the moments where you might have just fallen short a bit of what you wanted to do, or just altogether things just didn't work out in general. And I wanted to just really quickly, I wish I had the physical book. I be wanting to show y'all the books, but I never have them. The book, I pre-ordered it through Amazon a couple months ago, but it won't be here till the end of April. So I'm I'll be done with the thing by then. But I wanted to just read this little descriptor of it really quick. Okay, I'm going to read the last part of the description because it's kind of long, but it says, as hard as unexpected interruptions, uncertainty, and in-between seasons may be, they also offer a unique invitation to align your dreams and goals with what matters most. It's time for you to gain greater clarity about what you truly want, why you want it, and how to pursue it. So what I really like about it is it's about the awkward season, when you are waiting on something, when something fell short of your expectations, when you just don't know what you want to do. It's about the season of waiting and just trying to embrace that. And even when it seems like everyone else around you is winning, quote unquote, doing all the things, and you're just wanting to be there as well. One of the things she talks about in there quite a bit is she had she had a couple of losses, and she talks about that as well. I won't get too in depth, just to so you can read about it, but I don't know. I really have been enjoying it. It's a easy read, but it's just so many gems in there. And I feel like I'm almost wanting to like start like some kind of book club or something. I don't know. I have another book on deck that I'm getting ready to read next, so I'll definitely share more about that one soon. But I'm really loving getting back into reading. I used to love reading, and then I kind of fell off of it, and now I'm getting back into it, and I'm obsessed. So if you have any recommendations of just really good books, I'm really in a season of just wanting to read like just uplifting books right now. It could be whether that be faith-based, self-help in a sense, I guess, something like that. I'm really enjoying that right now. Not so much like the fiction stories or anything just yet. I used to read a ton of fiction, so right now I'm kind of just in this season, kind of like you said, I'm just an in-between season right now, and so motivational books are really helping me during this time a lot. So I wanted to share that one, and then I don't even think I have much more left. All right, another thing that I am in need of and would love if you have a suggestion. So my friend, hold on. Okay, shoot, I need to get Emery up. Let me wrap this up. Okay, another thing that I wanted to, I guess, kind of share, but also ask for suggestions. So I'm really trying to find a good live Bible study, if that makes any sense. Like, I would love to just be a part of like a community of women that are just trying to learn more about God and getting into the Bible. I definitely can do it on my own, but I really would like that community and like that dialogue with other people. So if you have one yourself, or if you know of one that you attend, or anything like that, let me know, because I'm really looking for that. But my friend got me this Bible, and I'm just really impressed with it. I was looking for a new one, and so I'm going to try this one out and see, because I'm really wanting to get more into like Bible studying, whereas I've just been kind of reading it, and I'm like, no, I actually really want to like dive into this a lot more. So I'm really just sharing this one. I'm going to link it just if you're looking for one as well. This is the Chara Project, and it's a Bible study method. So I'm going to try it out and see exactly how it works, see if I like it. But I'm going to be trying this one out. The main thing I'll say is it's definitely easy to read. It's in the English Standard Version, which is nice. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I really just, when she handed it to me, I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just so sweet, because I was wanting to get a new one, and it was just like a crazy thing that she just like was like, oh, I have this for you here. And I'm like, what? So shout out to you, Audra. Because that was really sweet. But anyway, the only other thing I was really going to say is one other thing that has really been helping me a lot. And it kind of goes back to one of the first things I was saying about like just slowing down. And that is me days. So every other Saturday, I have a me day. And it can last basically as long as I want it to last. My husband and my daughter, they get to have their quality time. They do whatever they want to do, and I go do whatever I want to do. A lot of times that ends up just being me working on things or whatever the case might be. But it is so good. It's like a good reset for me, because for those that don't know, I'm home with my daughter pretty much all day, every day. She did recently just start going to somewhere where she is gone a few days out of the week for like half a day. But other than that, it's me and it's her. And so for a long time, I was just really feeling guilty, that mom guilt of just like, it's not right for you to want to take time away from your family or time away from your daughter. But what I am realizing is it makes me a better mom when I do that. You know, I come back with a clear head, and it gives me a chance to just focus on some of the things that I love and don't always get the time to do when me and her are here, because I do try to make sure that the time is as intentional as possible, especially like the first half of the day. Me and her, we're really tuned in. We're doing learning. We get outside, we do activities together, we go out on adventures, you know, different things like that. And so the day, you know, for me to just have that time to focus on myself and something that I love and want to do, it's nice, it's refreshing. And so I just encourage, you know, any moms out there, or even if you just have like a lot going on with your job or whatever you might be involved in, where it just sometimes feels like it can kind of be a lot or just take over in a sense, consider doing a day for yourself regularly, and something that you can put on the calendar and that you can schedule and that you can look forward to. Not just like saying like, oh yeah, I'll take a break one day or something like that, but literally putting it on the calendar and setting aside intentional time to say, this is my day, this is my set of hours or whatever, to focus on me, to focus on my business, to focus on whatever the case is. I've talked about this before in a sense of business, but I do whatever I want on that day. So I get work done on that day. I go shopping. Sometimes I'll go get nails done. It really just depends on what I'm like feeling in the mood for. But it's such a blessing to have that day. Y'all don't understand, okay? You don't understand. Like, it's such a blessing, but it really helps me to come back just more refreshed, I guess. And so I just wanted to share that encouragement as well, because there's just a lot going on. And I think no matter what you might be dealing with, even if it's just the things that are going on around us within this world, which that in itself is very heavy on a day-to-day basis to deal with, I think that it's just so needed to just prioritize, kind of back to what we were saying in the beginning of this, is to just prioritize you and get back to what you love, focusing on yourself, focusing on the things that keep you up at night or that you're brushing under the rug, but they continue to bother you. That is really what I am encouraging for everyone that is on this channel that's watching this video. If you are still watching, comment down below love, because we need more of that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I plan to be back. I feel like I said this in another video and then was gone again, but I plan to be back more regularly, more consistently from this break that I took, and just excited to just bring some more inspiration your way, some more advice, tips, things that I know I just can't wait to pour into you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.